Game week 1 is still going, but the content can't stop. Today, guys, for you, I've prepared two drafts. The first one is the main point of the video, where I'm creating the best team for each game week. This is for all of the viewers that are playing the game just for fun and attacking the fixtures one by one and not caring about their final rank and not minding taking hits. So I will be preparing each game week a team that is the best one for the next game week, in my opinion. In Go, I'm starting with Turner. The budget is 100 million, and I managed to fit in a lot of expensive players outfield, and I had to make some sacrifices. It's a 4.0 keeper. It's perfectly fine because it's a game for Nottingham Forest against Sheffield United at home. So I believe that Nottingham will keep a clean sheet. So Turner takes the notch here. I will be not preparing a bench because I will be filling my bench with the cheapest guys possible. Because as already explained, you don't care about next game week or the previous ones and rotating some players. You want the best players possible for the current game week. So the bench is going to be basically around 16.5 million, which is the minimum. So yeah, 16.5 to 17 each game week. So for now, the goalkeeper, I haven't seen a better pick because Luton and Burnley are not playing this game week. Liverpool are playing against Bournemouth, and Nottingham and Sheffield are playing against each other. So yeah, for me, Turner 4.0. First of all, you save money, then you have a playing goalkeeper, and it's 4.0. I believe this is the perfect goalkeeper to start the game week with. In defense, I opted for 4 players because I believe that all of those 4 players are going to keep a clean sheet, and most of them are bound to make an attacking return. First of all, Virgil van Dijk. He is the new captain of Liverpool, so he is going to play. And against Bournemouth, I believe Liverpool will have a lot of set pieces, and he is a danger in there. Robertson and Trent were too expensive for this team, so I had to opt for something cheaper, and VVD point opt out. So yeah, pretty good player, 6.0, solid Liverpool team against Bournemouth at home. The first game at Anfield, I believe that Liverpool are winning that game easily, and Van Dijk most probably will make a return from a set piece. Next up is Chilwell. He hasn't played a game yet against Liverpool before recording that video, but I believe as attacking as he is and West Ham not being up to par, they finished 1-1 with Bournemouth, which is not a very good result, but you cannot make game-to-game comparison. But I believe that Chilwell will keep a clean sheet and most probably will make an attacking return against West Ham, so he's taking the notch there. He is a very good player, and if you own him from game week 1, you don't have to take a hit for it. So yeah, I managed to fill in as many as game week 1 players, even though you don't care about taking hits. If you're looking at that team, it's good to not take as many hits as possible. Basically, if you take 5 to 6 hits, it's okay, but going to around 15 hits will demotivate you maybe. But as I said, if you're playing the game only for the current game weekend, do not care about the results and about the overall rank, Chilwell is a very good option. Next up is Estupinian. He provided an assist against Luton. It was a pretty good run, and him, Mitoma, and Joao Pedro were pretty dangerous. And away game against Wolves, it's an okay fixture. I don't see Wolves scoring. They are under new managership, and I believe Estupinian can return a lot of points. The last guy here is Henry. I believe Henry against Fulham. Fulham were not very attacking against Everton, and the only thing that helped them was a mistake from the right side of the field from Everton, and they scored a goal. So I don't see Brentford conceding at that game as well. So Rico Henry takes up that space, and he can provide assists as well, and even score a goal if he wants to. Remember, you can use those players just for one transfer. So I'm pointing out the best players for that game week. So this is basically the same as pointing out the best transfers for that week, because I believe those players will return the most points in that specific game week. Maybe it's not the best player for the long hold like VVD, but if you want a quick return, I believe that this is the exact same thing as making the best transfers for the week. So yeah, the best team holds one cheap goalkeeper and four pretty good defenders that are bound to have an attacking return as well as clean sheets. In midfield, I'm a little bit light this week, but without the Manchester United players because they're having a game against Spurs. I believe players with games against Bournemouth and Crystal Palace are with better fixtures. You'll see my forward line how it's looking, but now let's discuss the midfield. Saka and Martinelli already returned. Saka scored a pretty good goal. Martinelli was lively as ever, and he made a pretty good flick to assist Nketiah. Then he had several chances as well. Saka is playing good. He's on penalties. So yeah, Crystal Palace won against Sheffield United, but they weren't tested defensively. And I believe that Arsenal will test them defensively for sure. Last season, it was the same. Arsenal conceded a goal at home, but then away, they were pretty solid defensively and they were attacking good. So I believe that this will repeat again this season. Salah, he is not my captain option this game week. Apart from no Haaland draft, I don't see me not captaining Haaland, so it won't be a big surprise to see that Haaland is in this side. I know it's pretty boring to captain Haaland each and every game week, but even if Salah scores a lot of goals and you just own him, it will be okay. But if don't captain Haaland, it may hurt your rank a lot, especially if your captain blanks, and it will be pretty devastating this game week. A lot of players in game week 1 captain Saka, and he returned around 10 points, I believe, and Haaland is with 13, so that's 3 points difference. But the other issue is that it's just a wide rank difference, so 3 points. If Saka got 3 points more than Haaland, it would have been okay, but with those 3 points, yeah, it doesn't sound much. But if you're just trying to find the differential captain each and every game week, it just adds up those 2-3 points. For example, 3 points for 38 game weeks is well over 100 points difference. So yeah, 100 is a difference between top 10k and top 500k. So yeah, just try to be as boring as possible and don't go differential each and every game week. The differential things should happen after you rack up a lot of ranks, because if you are down below just for differentials, those differentials will maybe sometimes explode, but sometimes will backfire a lot. Salah here is a no-brainer to not go for him. A home game against Bournemouth, even though you're not captaining him, in my opinion. I believe that owning Salah is the best decision that is bound to happen this week. A lot of players like Jota, Gakpo, Darwin and Diaz are options as well, but for a team that you are only attacking this fixture, go for Salah. You don't need to save the money. Just pick him and you will be perfectly fine. In attack, in my opinion, the players pick themselves. First of all, let's discuss Haaland. As I already mentioned, you don't need to go differential here. He already scored 2 goals away from home with a crippled, basically, Manchester City side. When the starting players return to the side, Haaland will be even better, and at home he was a different breed last season. So just pick him if you're picking the best team for the week, and just own him. Don't go without him, and captain him, in my opinion. The 2 other players, Watkins against Everton at home. I believe Watkins is a pretty good striker, and I don't see a better player to own right now in your attack. Maybe you can drop him and go for another midfielder if you believe that Everton will be good defensively away from home, but I believe that Watkins will score goals there. That's why I'm not picking an Everton goalkeeper or a defender. I'm opting for Watkins to score a goal. He's on penalties, even though he's missing them. He's on penalties, and if he scores, it will count. And the last player that is here is Jackson. I believe that Chelsea strikers will going to have a few days against West Ham United, and who better to pick than Jackson? You can drop him for Sterling in midfield if you like, or Mudryk. I'm not very familiar right now because, as I mentioned, it's a video recorded before the Liverpool and Chelsea game, so I have to see how Jackson is playing, but for sure he is on my radar and I want to most probably pick him for my side. But for game week 2 best team, he is definitely there. There are no obvious fixture to target apart from maybe Liverpool, Bournemouth. The other teams are having an okay run because, as I mentioned, the two of the easiest teams to go against are playing together, and the other two are just not playing. So 5 of the easiest teams are there. Brighton is a good side. If you don't have the money, you can go to Joao Pedro or Mitoma. It will be good because that triangle of Estupiñán, Joao Pedro, and Mitoma was amazing, and I believe a lot of attacking returns are bound to happen. Joao Pedro is on penalties, even though Gross and Milner were on the field on the same time. He took it, so yeah, Joao Pedro is a nice alternative here, but for me, Watkins, Jackson, and Haaland finish up the squad the best because I believe those 3 strikers are good and they can score a lot of goals. If you are enjoying my ideas and want to follow me through my journey, please subscribe to my channel. All of your help is much appreciated. Now, I wanted to create a draft for players that are starting in game week 2. A lot of players that have missed the deadline will start from game week 2, and we want to prepare the best draft going forward. So I've prepared a template draft that you can follow and just adjust players if you don't prefer them right now, but I believe that this draft can lead you to a very good start of the season, even though you're starting in game week 2. In Go, I opted for the combo of Pickford and Turner. Up until game week 10, they rotate perfectly fine. So you have a goalkeeper playing against a weaker opposition every game week. So even if you want to wait for your wild card a little bit later to use it, you can just rely on Pickford and Turner. Areola and Turner are a good combination, but Areola is not nailed. So if he's not playing, you have to play a Nottingham Forest goalkeeper every game week, which is not ideal. But Pickford and Turner rotate betterly, and they are nailed for now, especially with Nottingham not buying any new goalkeeper. So yeah, Pickford and Turner, pretty solid option in goalkeeper's position. In defense, I'm staying with the same defense from game week 1 because I believe that this defense is solid enough to drive you through game weeks up until game week 8, even 10. So yeah, Saliba, Chilwell, Estupiñán, and Henry. Saliba is taking the notch up ahead of Gabriel. I expected that because Saliba is just a better player with the ball. Gabriel is a good defender, but with so many easy fixtures for Arsenal, I believe that Saliba will play more games, especially in the easier fixtures. But against Spurs, Manchester United, Manchester City, Gabriel will be back into the side and to cover more because you need a solid defense and not so attacking players, especially with the Timbers injury that he sustained in game week 1. I believe that Gabriel will be quick to return to the side, but for now, Saliba is my preferred choice, and he was during the whole preseason. A lot of players got scared and put in Saliba because of a rumor that Gabriel is not going to start. If this rumor was 3 or 4 minutes later, I would have been pretty blessed because of a lot of players that follow the other FPL content creators wouldn't have made the transfers. But even with that information, Saliba is way over with the ownership than Gabriel. This game week it was a 4-point difference, but it would have been a lot more, around 11, because Arsenal conceded a stupid goal. Chilwell, as already mentioned, I haven't seen him yet, so I am just relying on the preseason data, but I believe that up until game week 8, Chelsea has the best fixture run, especially from game week 2. So Chilwell picks himself. Estupiñán and Henry remain at the side because they rotate pretty good up until game week 8. And Estupiñán is so attacking that you can just put him in every game week and expect an attacking return here and there. Even if they don't keep a clean sheet, you'll get an attacking return. Even in the 95th minute he was playing and he made an attacking return, so that is good. And Rico Henry is a good cover-up. If you want to play him, you can always play him ahead of everyone else. And the 4.0 defender is up to your choice, but I pretty much enjoyed how Kabore was playing. I watched the game between Brighton and Wootton the whole game, and Kabore was pretty lively offensively and defensively. If he is just a little bit more polished, you will get some returns, but he will be staying on the bench. In midfield, I'm opting for 4 strong midfielders, and I'm dropping Bruno Fernandes from my game week 1 draft and Diogo Jota, and I'm going with different players, but let's discuss the midfielders right now. Rashford remains in the side up until Højlund is fit enough to start. I believe Rashford will be playing that striker position, and with such an explosive chance of goals, Rashford is a pretty good shout out to score more goals. Yeah, he's not on penalties, but for me it's enough enough that I'm having the Manchester United striker in my side. Saka and Martinelli, the same things that I said previously in the video. They're pretty explosive. Saka scored a goal, Martinelli provided an assist. They will keep playing even against strong oppositions. They will be better on the counter-attacks there with their speed and pace. So yeah, both of them are remaining in my side. And Maddison is here except Jota, because if you're starting in game week 2, you don't have to use a transfer after game week 2. So Maddison or a Spurs player, whoever you want to put in there, is a good option to have in midfield. So yeah, 7.5 for Maddison. You can go for a Richarlison 7.0 or Kulusevski 7.0 or the new captain of Son for 9 million if you still have the money and want to go, for example, except for Rashford to Bruno, and you have 1.5 left in the bank and you can go for Son. It's up to you, but for me, Maddison will be one of the best players this season, so I'm picking him. And the last player here in midfield is a 4.5 midfielder. It's up to you to choose who plays there. Basically, the 4.0 and the 4.5 are never touching grass, so they will be playing on the bench, and you want the players that are not going to lose you any value. So yeah, if someone drops to 4.4, pick him, or for 3.9, go for the cheapest options here. And up front is Haaland, Watkins and Jackson. Yeah, they have a pretty good fixture run up ahead, especially Haaland. After a Newcastle game, it's pretty easy. Jackson as well. I haven't seen him play yet, but I believe that he's going to be a very, very strong option. And Watkins, the next 3 of 4 fixtures are good. Only the game against Liverpool is red and difficult to say, but Liverpool are going to be leaking defense until they sign a proper DM. So yeah, Watkins can score a goal there. So I believe going for Watkins is going to be a good option. If you started game week 1 with him, just believe in that. But that's the best draft for players that start in game week 2. I hope you enjoyed the video. I will be making weekly videos of promoting best drafts, a little bit different of drafts, and during the week I will post my team selection with my actual team, but that's for the players that are not playing the same game as me, but playing a different game and showcasing different tips and players that may some of you missed and you don't know, because I'm watching as many Premier League games as possible. But yeah, that's the draft for now. If you enjoyed this type of content, as already mentioned, subscribe to my channel, write down a comment if you believe I am making wrong decisions with those templates and with those teams. But for now, guys, I'll be heading out to watch another FPL game. Bye.